It's time for the End of Conversation podcast with funny man Damien Lemon and the voice of your choice, Ali Muhammad.
Yeah, this is Damien Lemon.
This is Ali Muhammad.
And this is In the Conversation.
The podcast.
Ooh. What's up, man?
What's up, man?
How you doing?
Man, I'm doing pretty good.
It's been a minute, at least 7 days since I chopped it up with you.
6 and some change.
Something like
at this
that.
point.
Okay. What's cracking, man? How you doing?
Everything good, man. You know, out here living life, remixing life and shit. You know, it's one of them times where,
Yeah.
you know, it's time to go to the next level again.
Again?
Again.
I hear that.
You know what? It's just like when you out here in the wild, you know, the game changed real fast and you got to be able to respond to it.
Right.
So it's in one of them responsive, like, okay, I see what's happening on the horizon. This is what I need to do to get in place.
It's a proactive jump on them.
Yeah, you got to be proactive or you're going to be out the game.
So you see something switching up and you
I
ready?
definitely see lots of things switching up and lots of places where, you know, sometimes you outgrow a space.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's a space you don't want to be no more. You want to, you don't want to do certain things. And I think I'm in that space.
All right.
You know. Well, it's just more the service side of what we do. You know what I'm saying? Just try to slowly drop that down a little bit and do more project-based, what we want to do type things.
A little bit more creative
A
on
little
your
more
own
creative, a little more on your own as opposed to what, you know, you find yourself doing a lot of work and all your work is somebody else's work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, you know, all these deaths and shit is like how you rethinking your shit. Like, hey, man, if I died today, all I did was everybody else shit. You know? You know what I'm saying? You don't want your obituary to be like, he did everybody else shit.
Everybody, it was good at fucking assists.
You know what I'm saying?
Throwing alley-oops.
So, you know, it's one of those types of situations where it's like, you know, when you gonna get to your shit real hard and make your shit the top priority and not just the side priority or, you know, a 50% priority.
Yeah.
You know. So I'm in that space right now.
I hear that. I can see that.
Which is, you know, that's a lonely space. Because when you're talking about something that don't exist, it ain't nobody to really talk to about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can listen.
Right.
But, you know what I mean? It's like sometimes you need feedback, and sometimes that mirror be the feedback. Trial and error, doing it, seeing if it worked, you know, testing and shit like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at, man. It feel good though. I like that. I like that process.
Yeah. And then in the unknown part of the journey, we gotta just trust that process.
Yeah. Yeah. You out there in the dark. And making assumptions based off of, you know, the information that you have. And then, you know, and you see where things going. And then you start seeing other people eating your lunch where you used to get lunch.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then you like, hey, wait, whoa, hold up now. But then it's that lunch you ain't even want. I ain't even want no turkey sandwich. But you mad.
But just off of GP.
You
Come
eat
on.
turkey sandwiches out here?
I ain't even never seen you eat turkey sandwiches.
I'm the first one puts turkey sandwiches on the map.
Y'all niggas was eating spiced
You know
ham.
what I'm saying? Get out of here.
Wow.
But, you know, it's one of those things. You have to let go where you came from to get where you're going.
All right. I hear that shit.
So that's where I'm at with it.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up.
You know, it's the remix.
There you go.
But I got a good plan. I feel good. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting good response.
Okay.
So, you know, that's it.
That's what's up.
That's what I've been up to.
Well, that's what shit.
I ain't been nowhere. I've been doing that shit.
I hear you. All right. No further questions.
No, I mean, you can ask many questions. I
Right.
just don't have no further answers.
I can dig
Other
it.
than, you know what I'm saying?
You said all these
In the lab.
deaths.
Yeah, man.
Who else? What deaths are we talking? What you talking about?
I mean, shit, my mom died in March.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
Nipsey died at the end of March.
Right.
John Singleton died yesterday.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All those fall in my realm some kind of way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And in little ways, but then in some ways, big ways. Like, you know, John Singleton was a storyteller.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? He made black shit.
Rest in
You know what I'm
peace.
saying?
Yeah.
And the blackest of things that at the highest of levels, you know?
Yeah.
So he's definitely in my sphere. So,
Yeah.
you know, you look at what he's done in his 51 years, which, you know, I thought he would have been a little older than that. But He did Boys in the Hood. He was 23, some shit like that.
Crazy?
You know what I'm saying?
That was his first ever movie.
Right.
Nominated for an Oscar.
You know, so.
Still the youngest director ever nominated for an Oscar. Still. That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
But go ahead.
They said they offered him $100,000 to walk away from the project because they wanted a more experienced director. And he was like, "This is the movie I was born to make."
He did that shit. Yeah, he did it.
But then the link, you know what I'm saying, with him being from Crenshaw.
Nipsey.
You know what I'm saying? Nipsey being from Crenshaw. Him the one actually doing the Crenshaw shirt in Boys in the Hood.
Oh, is that where that's from?
Yeah.
Oh, I never caught that.
I didn't either until I saw this video of him in the Marathon store telling the story of how he put Trey in the Crenshaw shirt because the dude at the flea market used to sell them.
Oh, wow.
And then he was like, I'm going to put that in the movie. So he was like, in the last scene with Trey and Doughboy on the porch,
right,
you'll see Trey with the Crenshaw shirt on.
Same font.
No, it's like the block font. They had it in the store too, but it's not the one with the the sport font.
Right.
It's the one with the block font. Just say Crenshaw on the black shirt. And so just that link and just that both of them gone within a month of each other is crazy.
Yeah. It's so much. That's a lot too. I didn't know about the Crenshaw thing. That's kind of that's profound on the level that there's a lot of entrepreneurship that's supported in that Crenshaw district for the fact that 30 years ago for Singleton to say, yo, I'm gonna support this cat, I'm gonna put his shirt in my movie,
right?
And then you see with Nipsey with the Crenshaw shirts like that,
the next generation.
That's really cool.
But you know what I'm saying, and in that movie he had the Furious style talking about gentrification.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I see that on the Instagram. I haven't watched that clip over again, but yeah,
it's just a lot of conversations that they were having in the '90s that's extremely relevant right here today. You know, and being that was a source of inspiration in that whole neighborhood. Even like now with John Singleton saying he the only casting office in Crenshaw district. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So for him to be the one that kind of put South Central on the map, because you had Cube who was still he made his first album. That was the first time you started hearing South Central, but for the longest you had known him from straight out of Compton.
Right.
He was talking Compton even though he wasn't from Compton.
Right.
So when he did his first album, then you started hearing him say South Central.
Right.
So when Boys in the Hood came, it was the first time you actually got a visual that was more comprehensive than just the raps and the gangs. And you know what I'm saying? It was, you could actually kind of see some of the culture and the different kinds of people that existed in South Central.
Singleton, I want to say, maybe outside of NWA, outside of the movie Colors, which was, wasn't as impactful, but Singleton was like that's the first time I really seen Black LA. You know what I mean? Like where you felt the world. You know what I mean? When you look at Boys in the Hood remind me of like when you watch Do the Right Thing, you could feel the humidity. You know what I mean? Like when you watch Boys in the Hood, you could feel how hazy it is. Like you feel like you there. You in their neighborhood. They show you so many different slices of life.
Right.
You know what I mean? Whether it's just them on the porch kicking it or like when they on, I guess they was all Crenshaw or Slauson where they was doing, when they had the whole, the nighttime, all of the cars pulling up and shit.
Right.
Man. And then beyond that, like Baby Boy, up until Snowfall, like...
That was the thing. Like, damn, he's still working on Snowfall. Like,
I felt conflicted feeling that.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? Because I don't want to,
I don't want the texture and the reality to fall off. Because the visionary's not there. Hopefully they got layers.
I hope so, man. He come across like a dude that would leave some marching orders, or at least his vision is so singular, like Spike, that if you work with him, I think you kind of you'll know at least what to do. You'll know at least what not to do. But you'll be like, well, I don't want to done no shit like this.
But in the case of Snowfall, it's so specific. Yeah. To you having to have been there. It's like you can't go on the internet and search up the 80s.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The shit that was really going on in the 80s. There was no cell phone footage and,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? You might get some wiretaps from, you know what I'm saying, some court cases and shit, but
Yeah.
you almost had to be there.
Right. I would hope he got some
to, you know what I mean, to really get that texture of how it was in the 80s.
Yeah, we're going to see.
And they so far they have been doing a good job.
I've been killing it.
You know
That
what I
shit
mean?
was great.
So, you know,
Yeah, man. Rest in peace, John Singleton.
no doubt.
I feel you on that. I definitely took this weekend to try to write. You know what I mean? Like sit down and try to write. To your point about that Singleton death hit me. Like it was like, damn. You know, like I just got the news he had the stroke on Friday.
Right.
So that was like, damn.
You know, it was kind of like, you know, everybody beat the stroke. No, not everybody,
always.
but that's not always, but that's your thought. That was my thought process. Like, okay, he'll be back. You know what I'm saying? He might have a limp arm or some shit like that, but he'll be back.
Yeah, you know, when they was, you know, shit, dog. You know, I'm a hypochondriac, first of all. So when anything, I almost dropped my phone because I'd be so. I had to go put my arm in the cuff today. You know what I mean? At the right age, just to see where I'm
healthy.
at. Got to make sure because I ate some bullshit this weekend too. We'll talk more about that. But like this week, I was like, yo, I'm trying to, you know, just sit down and write. Like just sit down, undistracted, leave the crib, go somewhere 2-3 hours and just stare at the page or stare at the screen. Mm-hmm. And hopefully whatever come, you know, and some of the shit is coming in spurts or whatever. But it's like, to the point of what you were saying, with these deaths going on, you see somebody like Singleton who put out so many different projects, and now he's gone. So that's the end of his output, right? And, you know, if you alive, if you're a living creative, that's part of, I don't want to say your responsibility, but that's part of the luxury of being alive. It's like, yo, you got to shoot. If you in the game, nigga, shoot your shot. Whether it go in or go out, shoot the shot. You know what I'm saying? Don't overthink it, because it don't really matter in the grand scheme of things. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah, man. So, yeah, man. Shout out to John Singleton. That was a tough one, man. You know. Peace to all the creatives out there, too. You know, doing their thing. Shout out to my man DL Warfield.
I saw he had just had a show.
He did another show. He had a show, Fame, I think 1 million likes.
Yeah, 1 million likes.
He did like an ill sculpture with Fame spelt out with all cameras. Right. And if you stand in front of it, it takes your photo, lights and shit. So that's ill. And I think this is his third show in the last couple months. He out there going hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Prices was going hard too. So,
oh yeah?
I mean, I think that piece right there, that Fame piece you was talking about, he had it up for $55,000.
Ooh-wee, get it.
You know what I'm saying? Nah, but you know, it's art. You know,
yeah.
But it's shooting the shot. And
you got to.
You know what I mean? But it's like that's the business of art.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody always thinks starving artists, but nah, every artist.
Where that shit come from?
I don't know.
Where did that shit? Because the shit is pervasive.
Right,
People feel like it's nobility in being a starving artist.
But because, you know, when you're doing art, it takes time to maneuver through the system to get to the point where people are seeing the value and paying the value of the, you know, the suffrage.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So sometimes it takes a minute to get to that point where people are actually paying good money for your art.
Yeah.
But that ain't no reason why you shouldn't try to charge it.
Yeah.
What its value. Mm-hmm. So, but everybody might not have the same value system on their work.
Oh, that's true.
And that's where the shit come in. You fine tune your value system.
They say it's only worth what people are willing to pay. You know what I mean?
Right. And sometimes it's all subjective.
Absolutely.
So, you know, it's how you position and how you maneuvering and how you making people look at it.
Right.
Can define what the value of it is. You know?
Absolutely.
So,
yeah, if you come through strong about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't come through meek with a high price.
Well, I mean, yeah. It's
reluctant, expensive ass. That shit is too confusing.
Reluctant and expensive don't go together.
You got to be like,
it's like Nipsey with the $100 mixtape.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Proud to pay.
Right. What's up?
Yeah, man.
It's position.
Yeah. But I went to a art gallery on Friday because it's Freeze going on. I think it's so there's a bunch of little like shows going on, and I was running around with young Dub P's in the building.
Oh, he in town?
He's in town. So we went to the, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He know the circuit, the art circuit.
Right.
This shit is in the cut. Like if you didn't know there was you got to go upstairs in this little building on top of a grocery store, and then there's a fine art fucking show going on. Who would have known? I like that. It's kind of cool. Like just these subcultures. You know, that shit is invisible until you know. You know what I mean? Like that's one thing I respect about comedy. I see it like as before I started doing comedy, you didn't realize damn near anywhere could be the venue for a comedy show.
Right.
You know, just this little coffee shop which you just know to go get your coffee and have a little croissant or whatever, maybe write a little bit. On Wednesday, this shit is packed to the gills with the next motherfuckers of comedy. You know what I mean? But you wouldn't know that type of shit because you're not plugged in. So it's always, it's kind of cool. It's the more that meets the eye on some Transformers shit.
No doubt.
Oh, man.
No doubt. So what'd you see at the Freeze?
I saw some sculpture art. I think the artist Jesse Reyes, I want to say. Sculpture art was fly shit. It was fly shit. I didn't understand it all, but I respected it. You know what I mean? I didn't understand it. I respected it. I tell you one thing. I took photos of the shit, right? And I took photos of it just to document shit.
Right.
And then when I was looking back at the photos, I was like, oh, these shit's photographed well. And that's also part of the shit, because some of the shit, like when you look at it, you see it one way, but then we take the photo, it was like, it was like, you realize so many different things were considered, the way they sat it in the light. So when you shot it, this popped out. Like it was a lot of deliberate shit that you may not have been able to catch immediately. So I respected that. The other two places we went to, they were still kind of getting their shit together. They were still getting ready for the show. So stuff was on the floor, whatever, wasn't really posted up. But it's always good to, check out some art, just to see what people put out there. You know what I mean? Right. And it to your point, it's subjective. So one person might be like, oh, that's the illest shit ever. Another person be like, I don't get it. But it's a legitimate entry. No doubt. So
and then Fahamo Peko got a show that just came out.
Is that the cat that used to do the covers?
Yeah.
Of
himself?
Yeah. On other magazines
cover.
and shit.
Yeah. So he got a show, Do or Die, that's moving around.
Okay.
I just saw I think it's in Atlanta. I think it's hit Philly coming up shortly. But I saw some pictures of that. His shit is looking real dope. His shit is always dope, real detailed, black people always. But in some of these images, like just rich other colors that's running through the backgrounds and shit like that. So I just saw pictures of it today. So I'm probably check it out when it hit Philly.
Oh, that's hard.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's not coming to New York?
I think it may have already been in New York.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure. But like I said, I just saw it on the gram this weekend. Like, oh, shit. And only because when I was down there, I was talking to a girl that's kind of in his little management team.
Right.
That was saying it was coming to Philly next. So shout out to Ash Nash.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so
the gram really helping artists out. It
that's
puts it way back in the comments. I mean, yeah.
Visual than the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And it was shout out to Goldie Gold too, because a lot of the cats who was going to the DL show, you know what I'm saying, and even the Fahamo show was rocking his shirts. You know what
Which one?
He had a whole line of shirts called Invest in Gold.
Okay.
So he just does his art on the shirts. So he has, a lot of different ones, but I think the ones they was at DL show, a lot of them was rocking the Nipsey one that he did. Wow. So he got a certain style, certain colors.
Okay.
Like a animated look, illustrated look.
Right.
And I've been rocking with Goldie Gold since MySpace. So he's done a couple of pieces of me. So like if you ever looked on on my Twitter profile, had the little colorful joint.
Right.
That was a Goldie Gold's piece like that. So that's how they look.
Yeah.
And a lot of cats was supporting him at the other show. So it's kind of like
dope.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like a nod to the artists who doing it at one level, but then also a shout out to the artist that's on the bubble.
Right. Right.
So
No, that's hard.
that community is looking real good as far as moving on the gram and making sure that the art scene support each other. It's a big deal right now.
Right. I like you see people actually buying the shit. You see that's being reported. This person bought that shit for you know what I mean? It wasn't like just looked at it. This shit is selling.
But that's what it is.
It's beauty.
That's what it is, man. You know, if you ain't have no consumers, then it ain't no work. You know? I was looking at a note. I had one of my notebooks. It was like, rich people don't make jobs. Consumers make jobs. So it's like when people buying, that's when the market is right. That's when you could actually create livings and make livings and give people jobs. Was when people buying. If people ain't buying, it ain't shit to do.
Yeah. Sometimes though, I mean, yeah, I agree. You got to get the people to buy. But then sometimes on the creative side, it's the job to come up with a story as to why to buy. You know what I mean? Because, I'm noticing a lot of this shit, a lot of the stuff that's out there to be consumed is really based on the story behind it.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? Like, the end product is the end product. Again, it is what it is. But it's like when you hit the people with the ill story that they attach to, that shit just moves around, and then people you know what I mean? Now it's like, oh nah, I had to cop this because this was what's going on with that, and that's actually a pull of this, and da 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 da.
But that ain't really nothing new.
No, it ain't nothing.
That's how it's always been. You know what I'm saying? It's always a story, whether you fit in that narrative or not. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's how Apple made its way into the creative space. They always told the stories of the people who made shit and created shit, while when PCs was on top and they was running the game, IBMs and shit like that, it was more about the working man and the numbers person and the person who had it all pulled together, suit and personal computer. You know what I'm saying? Making business move faster. That was their story. When Apple was coming with a more story of the creative person and the person who didn't necessarily follow the rules, and that started to feel like a gang. You know what I'm saying? It was a small gang in comparison to, you know what I'm saying, this is what the career man's computer.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you saw that. I was, as a kid able to watch that audience grow based off of that narrative was crazy.
Right.
And then now in this space where that narrative is kind of running the conversation.
Yeah. Is it now the majority? It is by far now, because I remember back a couple, 15 years ago, they was still like, it's only X amount, and you seen it happening.
The phones took it over
That's when it changed.
The iPods, the first iMacs when they had the colors and shit, that shit started to get cool.
Right.
Then motherfucking iPod and iTunes tipped it over a little bit, and then that's when it started to grow like that.
Right.
But that narrative, like with the artists being able to tell their stories like that, that's part of that narrative. That's part of that whole situation. Because the career man narrative was the story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You wanted to be a part of that.
You wanted to have a briefcase.
You know what I'm saying? Briefcase.
Remember, the briefcase was the shit.
You know
The briefcase was the official MacBook Pro.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why, nigga, that was the one. Man. Yeah, the briefcase was the shit, especially in the 80s. That meant you had some shit to do. You had some purpose.
That was part of the narrative.
You had some documents.
You went and consumed that shit because you wanted to be a part of that story.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? You wanted to be looked at as somebody who had their shit together.
Yeah. Fucking briefcase with nothing in it. I think I had a briefcase at one time going on interviews. With a briefcase, I had a manila folder with my resume in that bitch. And that shit was smacking around in the fucking briefcase.
Just like everybody with these
tell me
MacBooks.
Shit, yeah.
All these empty MacBooks with all they doing is surfing the net.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what I'm saying? So it's the same shit.
Yeah.
You just want to go in the coffee shop and flip your shit up.
Right.
Or be in the airport and flip your shit up. You want to have your AirPods in and shit. Let them know you part of the gang.
Yeah, I still have
whether that's you or not.
Right. Yeah.
That's all about the narrative.
Of course. Yeah. Oh man. Speaking of the narrative, I don't watch, but I definitely watch the internet, and I've seen on the gram and on other forms of social media some big shit happened on your Game of Thrones program.
Yeah, this was the
big ass fight, right?
It was a big ass fight. This was a fight that was all leading up to. This was one that, they always talked about, you know what I'm saying? The main house.
The Walkers, right? The White Walkers versus House of Starks or something like that?
The White Walkers, the Night King.
The Night King?
Yeah, the
Third Eye
the
Blind.
long night, winter has come. You know what I'm saying? He's the third eye blind.
I know you said somebody in there got 3 eyes.
The 3-eyed raven. But yeah, so that was the big episode this weekend, where the big fight between the living and the dead came together to fight over the night or the life.
Okay.
And for all intents and purposes, it lived mostly up to the hype.
Mostly. Hold on, mostly. First, let me ask you this. It lived up to the hype mostly. Were there any surprises? Because it seemed like there was a surprise.
Yeah, definitely. It was a surprise who actually was able to.
Got it cracking.
Who got it, who killed the actual Night King.
Okay.
That was a surprise.
Were you surprised?
Yeah, I was surprised.
Okay.
Not that I didn't. I couldn't say I saw it coming, but
Okay.
I wasn't like, oh shit, that's out of left field. You know what I'm saying? Because if you, in hindsight, you could see it leading up to the shit.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You could see all of the, but you don't, when you watching it, you're not thinking about all the old foreshadowing and all that shit where, the 3-eyed raven, who know all the shit, gave her the knife that she used to kill the motherfucker with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's
Spoiler alert.
Well, shit, if you ain't seen it by now, then you come on, man.
I mean, niggas know we spoil shit over
if
here.
a motherfucker is watching,
We ain't got no refrigerator.
if you
at this
watching the
podcast.
Thrones, you done seen the shit. If you ain't, it ain't no such thing as spoiling the Thrones, because everybody that's supposed to be watching it is watching it by Sunday.
Okay.
So by Wednesday, if you ain't seen the shit, you ain't even interested.
All right, so go ahead.
So it's only certain kinds of shit that could kill this motherfucker. They actually don't even know what could kill this motherfucker.
This is the Night King.
Right. But they do know that Valyrian steel can kill a White Walker.
Valyrian steel is a certain type of steel, or is that a person?
Certain type of steel that was made a certain type of way from the old whatever, but it ain't a lot of it in the world left.
Limited.
It's very limited, and only rich, noble motherfuckers
You got
got
some
it.
paper to have it. Platinum.
Yeah, it's beyond platinum.
Okay.
Titanium.
It's Valyrian steel.
It's Valyrian steel.
Shit ain't in the Diamond District.
So that's the only the shit that they know could kill it. They guesstimating that dragon glass could kill him, but I don't think anybody has anyone used dragon glass on the White Walker. Yeah, Fat Sam used dragon glass.
Okay.
So Fat Sam.
What's dragon glass?
Dragon glass is a type of material that's formed by hot ass dragon fire.
So after it singes or scorches, it breaks down. It's left glass.
It's kind of like some shit you mine, like gold. It's like inside of this mountain at what's the name of that damn place? Dragonthorn.
I thought it was also just basically obsidian, like something that was made from It could be volcanic as well.
Right, but I guess the
so it's like lava that's like melded.
Right, but then
how you do that?
The myth and legend is that it was from dragon fire.
But it might not be.
But it might not.
It might be part of what the
It
seller.
might just be obsidian.
Okay, gotcha.
But they call it dragon glass. You know what I'm saying? So in the land where this particular dragon family lived, there's a mountain of that shit.
Okay.
So they were able to mine some of it to go fight with.
Okay.
So they know dragon gas could fuck with them and Valyrian steel. And the girl who actually got the job done ended up getting the Valyrian steel dagger through, a long line of crazy ass shit in the history of this particular dagger.
Okay.
Ended up the dude who with the 3 eyes
passed it off to her
because it was the knife that they tried to kill him with. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because he knew some shit. And then the dude who actually kind of put all that little shit into play ended up giving it to him. And he ended
after he tried to kill him.
But he ain't try to kill him, but he knew he had a lot to do with the pops getting killed. He was a slimy, like a slick ass slimy dude.
Okay.
Who they say might be coming back.
Okay.
It's a theory that he might still be alive.
All right.
Even though he got killed with that same dagger.
Supposedly.
But it's a theory that, you know what I'm saying, he may have switched bodies with a motherfucker with a Bravosi coin. That's the theory.
I know niggas is listening like,
yeah, motherfuckers that know.
Bravosi coin.
If you know, you know. Cause,
I know.
You know what I'm saying? The Bravosi, they got some slick shit where, you know what I'm saying, they could change faces and shit like that.
They hold a coin, they could.
No. The coin just gets you in the game. That, you know what I'm saying, that you could talk to them.
You got to give them the coin?
If you got this coin, then it's like, oh, shit.
They fuck with you.
Yeah,
you just show it or you got to?
You got to give it to them. And they like, oh, shit.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
They have a conversation.
Because the little girl who killed the Night King, she had one, and that's how she learned to be an assassin. Okay. With no face.
Interesting.
So it's a theory out there that, because he gave this girl a coin on one of the episodes, but you didn't see what kind of coin. Mm-hmm. But it's a theory that he may have given her a Bravosi coin to trade a life for his life.
Oh, okay.
You know. So anyway, so that was a surprise that the Arya Stark, the girl, was able to kill the Night King. Right. Because everybody, it's all these other theories about, the history and the prince that's promised and all that shit. And everybody was leading up to Jon Snow being.
Thought Jon Snow was going to be the one to put in work.
He actually, in the interviews afterwards, he was like, I did too. He thought he was going to be the one.
Until he got to page 47.
He's like, whoa.
What the fuck?
He actually didn't get shit done in this damn war. He looked kind of weak in the war. Even though it's weak, it's funny because everybody is on social media saying how certain people was worthless in the fight. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying, the dragon, Puerto Rican princess, she didn't really do much. Mm-hmm. But, the dragons did hold shit down a little bit until they got tired and beat up a little bit. Mm-hmm. And then John, his dragon ran out of gas, so he was on foot.
Oh. You know damn, John.
So he on foot fight, you know what I'm saying?
So his dragon just fell out, tired?
Yeah, because they was fighting the ice dragon that was the zombie dragon. Uh-huh. And, that was zombie dragon don't get tired. Okay. Because he dead.
Oh, he's dead.
You know what I'm saying? So the other two was kind of tired. They like,
so Jon Snow wound up fighting the dragon on foot?
Not the dragon.
Okay.
He tried to fight the dragon with just screaming at him, which was crazy. That was another one.
John needs
he was like, ah!
He needs some new offensive plays.
You need some tools, brother.
Motherfucker!
But when John Dragon got tired and crash landed, he was on foot.
Right.
So, but he got his Valyrian steel.
Okay.
The Night King is right there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because they tried to burn the Night King up. So she hit him with the Dracarys, which means fire.
Okay.
So she hit him with the fire. Then he came out that bitch smirking like,
it wasn't shit.
Yeah, it didn't do shit. So he was still in the game. So John, his little dragon crash landed. So he on the ground. So he like, all right, I'm about to go to toe to toe with him with my Valyrian steel.
He got a sword.
He got a sword. So you thinking, okay, this it.
Yeah.
Okay, this the fight that's supposed to happen.
Right.
And then the Night King, he could raise dead people and shit.
Right.
That's his whole army is dead people.
Okay.
So John trying to get to him and shit. He running. And the Night King is like,
mad.
So he done raised. He ain't even finna fuck with John. He's like, I ain't got time to be dealing with you, brother.
Just a crowd of dead
motherfuckers. So now John got to fight hundreds of dead motherfuckers he's surrounded by.
Right.
So when people say he wasn't worth shit in the fight, it wasn't really that he ain't have shit to do.
He was preoccupied.
Because he was occupied like a motherfucker.
Right.
But in Arya, the girl, who actually got it done, she was out there, she was ready. She was excited to prove that she could, fight. Because really nobody's really seen her in battle.
Because she grew up. She's been the kid, right?
Yeah, she was a kid, but she was learning how to be an assassin.
Okay.
All her whole childhood.
Okay. On the low. Nobody knew?
Yeah, she was off in Bravos learning to be a no-face killer.
And nobody knew?
No, nobody knew where the fuck she was at.
She just been coming home and they still sleeping on her.
No, she didn't even coming home because she was out in the world. She ended up coming home later, but then she stayed home. That was the long journey home.
Okay.
But in the meantime, you learning to be a killer.
Right.
So she was excited to kind of
show that off.
Yeah, get in the game and really put some of this shit
put
to use.
Some work on you, motherfucker.
Right. But, you know, it's a lot of dead motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? So she was putting in her little work, bomb. But then, you know, they got in a situation.
Can you kill a dead person?
Yeah, you could kill them with the dragon glass.
It has to be, but what about your Valerian steel? If you ain't got no dragon glass.
Valerian steel, dragon glass, that's the shit that kill them.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That kill them right. Like, as soon as you hit them with it, it seems like they just
shatter.
Fall the fuck out.
Gotcha.
But they got her cornered a little bit inside the joint where she almost got fucked up. But, you know, a couple of cats that was fighting kind of helped her get to the room. Boom. And then the lady of the light, the red lady, kind of gave her wings. You know what I'm saying? Let her know this, you know, you the one. So she in there, and the red lady's like, you know, telling her, you know, to kind of remember who the fuck you is, you know what I'm saying? She was like, I remember you, and because when she first seen her way back in season whatever the fuck, the lady told her that she see death in her eyes, you know what I'm saying? That
You kill her.
Yeah, like you have shed many eyes.
It's like Neo.
Yeah, some of them brown, some of them green, and then you know what I'm saying? She's like, and some of them blue. Which was the nod that, because the White Walkers and shit got blue eyes.
Oh, okay.
Which was the nod, like, you know what I'm saying?
Was that on the low? Like, if you didn't that go over a lot of people's heads, and now you're kind of looking back like, oh, okay.
If you've been watching it, it wouldn't have went over your heads. Because soon as she said the other line, when she was like, what do we say to the God of death? You already know when she first started to learn, that's what the Bravosi sword master was teaching her. He was saying, you know, what do we say to the God of death? Not today. You know what I'm saying? So once she got that, she knew what time it was. She was like, all right. And there was the pause right there on the shit. It was like, that's the lesson right there. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing that gets you thinking is like, sometimes you be out here fighting the wrong motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? She
wasting time out here Jon Snowing.
She out here Jon Snowing and fighting all these dead motherfuckers when it's only one motherfucker you really need to be fighting.
The Night King, right?
The Night King. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Because you kill him, you kill all of them. And we out here, sometimes we be doing shit. Speak for myself, shit. Sometimes I be out here fighting the wrong fight. You know what I'm saying?
Fighting a bunch of dead motherfuckers.
Fighting a bunch of niggas over turkey sandwiches and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Don't do that.
You know what I mean? When you supposed to, you know what I mean, be out trying to get filet mignons.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Trying to catch the blue marlin.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You out here fishing over the bridge for guppies.
For some trout.
And trout and bass. When you need to be out there searching for the blue marlin.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of that kind of lesson in the whole shit. But, you know, she ended up going to get the shit done.
Yeah, I saw they put a face on Dame Lillard.
Yeah.
Like, she must have done something spectacular, because that shit is only 2 days old. God damn.
He got usurped right quick.
They was like, damn, let me get this.
Hold up.
This victory stance.
Yeah, man. It was cool, but you know what I'm saying? Again.
So what you say? You said it lived up to expectations. Almost. Where's it fall short?
It was the longest battle scene in TV history or whatever. It probably was the most expensive. It was
better than the Red Wedding?
Yeah.
It was better than the Red Wedding?
Red Wedding was really a pretty much a scene. This was the whole fucking show.
Oh,
From start to finish.
So it was an hour-long battle.
82 minutes.
Wow.
So, you know what I'm saying? So it was a fight.
Okay.
But then it was like certain parts of it for me. I can't speak for everybody because it's certain crews of people who are fans of the book and the original author,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Who were like, you know, they're not really into how the storyline played out. Then you have, you know, the new jacks who come in that really don't understand what's happening. And like, it might have been too easy to kill the Night King. Like, that was an easy kill.
Right.
Like, you know, sometimes if you haven't been paying attention, some people are saying that, you know, Arya, you know what I mean? It's like she didn't have to overcome no challenges and shit, like how she just walk up on the Night King. But that was what they was talking about the whole thing, how she was able to creep up on motherfuckers. That was her whole shit.
She was unassuming.
Right. She was, you know, as her teacher told her, you got to be quiet as a shadow and light as a feather. You know what I'm saying?
Hard.
And that's how it ended up. But for me, it was, you know what I'm saying, it was disappointing on a couple of levels, you know what I'm saying? Like in the strategy, you know, you had the Dothraki, who was, you know what I'm saying, back in the day, we talked about that all they like to do is fight and fuck. You know what I'm saying? The wild, they just wow.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? They were the front line. They were the first one.
They're alive though. They're not dead.
They dead now.
Okay.
But you know what I'm
saying? They were living fighting.
Yeah, they were living. They were on the living side. So they were out there on the front line. They were the first to go. And then the next brown people, the Unsullied, was right behind them.
that-
So all the brown people was outside the gate.
Oh, they got brown people on Game of
light
Thrones.
brown,
Okay.
Two. They got a couple of light brown.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like the Dothraki, they kind of like, you know, like my man. What's my man name who played Aquaman?
Oh, homie, Jason.
He was the leader of them at one time.
He's in Game of Thrones.
He was.
Okay.
He was the leader of the Dothraki.
I never seen Aquaman. I heard it was good though. Did you
Me
see
neither.
It? Oh, okay.
I know him from Game of Thrones.
Okay.
But I know he did play Aquaman.
Right.
So that kind of brown.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever that brown is.
Yeah.
And then the Unsullied, they kind of like a light skin, like a what's that island off the coast of Africa? All the
Madagascar?
People, nah. They all of the people like in Boston and shit.
Oh,
Cape
Eritrea,
Verdean.
Cape Verdean.
They all look Cape
Right,
Verdean
right,
and
right.
shit.
Hilarious.
You know what I'm saying?
Wavy hair and shit.
I mean, they all that light, that light, but not. It's a funny looking light.
like a caramel,
This ain't caramel. It's like somewhere in
like
between.
a burnt sienna.
Nah. It's like lighter
Like
than
this?
it's lighter than peanut butter, but it's nondescript, a nondescript brown.
Damn. God.
It's not. It's darker than
It's a
beige.
shade.
It's darker than beige, but it's lighter than peanut butter.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
It's dusty.
Nah,
It's
I
a
ain't
little-
saying it's dusty. It's just
It's a tan, like a
yeah,
khaki.
like a khaki.
Okay.
Yeah, like a khaki
All
color.
right. No.
So they were the first to go. Dothraki.
Khaki color killers.
The Dothraki, they were the wildest mother. Everybody was feared the Dothraki. They were the front line. So this shit started off everything quiet. They waiting
Right.
for the signal to go and shit.
Okay.
So they standing there waiting. And then the old red lady come and light up their swords. So now they hype. Now they swords on fire. They got
Light up all of their swords.
yeah, all at once. So now they ready to go. They got
Yeah.
fire. They hype.
These the fighting and fucking cats.
The fighting and fucking.
They ready to get it
They
in.
ready to get it in.
Pawns.
They go out. So now they got the drone shot of the motherfuckers riding out with
Right.
the fire.
Right.
All you see is the fire going out.
Extinguished.
Unceremoniously dispersed.
What happened?
That's it.
The dead killed them? Who killed
Yeah,
them?
the dead killed him.
The dead just
that
got
was just dead.
Damn. Quickly.
Quick. No, you ain't even get to see him throw a blade. It was just over. Oof. They whole race. Done.
That fast.
Just like that. First 3 minutes of the show.
Typical.
and then,
Ain't that a
so
bitch?
so now everybody looking like, oh shit. So the next motherfuckers in line
Uh-huh.
is the Unsullied, who was the, you know what I'm saying?
Lighter
the
shade
Cape
of
Verdeans.
Okay. Some more browns.
You know what I'm saying? The Cape Verdeans. You know what I'm saying? So now the Cape Verdeans is looking like, you know, they leader is Grey Worm. And you know, he probably like the toughest motherfucker on that of me. Because he's serious. That's all he do.
What's his name?
Grey Worm.
Gray Runner?
Grey Worm.
Okay, Gray Worm.
Yeah. So
Is he a worm?
no, he a man.
Okay.
He just ain't got no sexual parts.
Oh shit! His worm is grayed out.
Yeah, the Unsullied, they take they little bits and kibbles and bits and train them just to be warriors.
That's
it.
how they not sullied.
They
They ain't got
Unsullied.
no fucking kids.
And all they do is fucking. That's all they fight. They can't fucking fight. They just fight.
So they just use all
They
of
just you know all that
Yeah.
energy and fighting.
that. Okay.
Very disciplined.
Right.
So he like everybody looking like, oh shit.
Because they just seen
They just seen that shit just dissipate.
that whole fire went out.
All that shit. So now he like, all right, I guess it's time to go. He put his little mask, his little helmet on, and he was, you know what I'm saying, ready for it. And then, you know, then the fight started. You know what I mean? It was a little, and then, you know, they held him off. Then, you know, the whole shit went on. You could watch the rest. I ain't gonna narrate the whole shit. But,
You did it, man.
But you know what I'm saying? That was, to me, it was like, damn, all the brown people had to go. Because they, you know, they had to protect, like they had to retreat. So all the Unsullied kind of had to protect the retreat. Like, man, who made this plan? Man, this plan is bad. Why they build the fire trench behind the soldiers? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you build it, you know what I'm saying? Like, they in front of the damn fire trench. Now you got to retreat to get behind the fire trench and light the bitch on fire to slow them up. So that was a little disappointing that all the brown people had to go first.
You sound disappointed.
But my man Grey Worm, he was holding that shit down. He ain't die.
Oh, all
so
right.
he held that shit all the way down, you know what I'm saying? It was like later in the fight when you see everybody fighting and everybody had that hump in their back, like tired and shit. You see Grey Worm out that bitch still.
got that stamina.
He was still out there kicking ass.
There you go.
So that was cool. And as far as the last kill shot, like you know what I'm saying, when she stabbed him, she used the technique that she had used before, which was cool. I just think the particular shot that they had on it, like when she changed hands with a knife on the Jordan, changed hands shit. So he'll have her arm right here, so she dropped the knife to the other arm.
Caught him.
You know what I'm saying? They caught him like that. But when she did it like that, it looked kind of weak. It didn't look like a hard, you know,
It looked like a knockout blow.
Yeah, it looked like it was a little weak little tap, and then he blew up. But the other little girl, Leanna Mormont, she's like a tough ass 13-year-old leader of her little tribe, cause they ain't got many people left.
Right.
So
it's whoever's left is the leader now.
She's the next in line. She's 13, but she hard as fuck.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? She harder than a motherfucker.
She down with Arya?
Everybody that's living is down with each other at this point. But
because they living.
Because they living. But she was always down with the North. So she was always down with the Starks. And actually, the Puerto Rican princess, the dude who was in love with her but was in the friend zone, he is part of that family. But he was like what was he? He was like a pirate. He was selling shit on the side. Kind of disgraced his house. Oh, okay. So his daddy kicked him out the house. So he was an exile. So this little girl was running that family. Okay. So she 13, little bitty motherfucker with, strong mouth. Uh-huh. You know what I mean? Uh-huh. She out there on the front, not the front line, but the inside front line, behind the wall front line.
Okay. The second line.
The second line behind the wall. Mm-hmm. Then the zombie giant came through. The giants, they be kicking ass. So the zombie giant came, kicked down their little door. Mm-hmm. And then she the first one standing right there. Mm-hmm. The zombie slapped that little ass out the way. Pow! And
killed her?
Nah, she ain't died.
He just gave her the
get out the way.
Fuck out of here.
Then he started killing shit, right? Uh-huh. And then she ain't having it. She like, shit, fuck that. Yeah, so she came with her little war scream.
Right.
Ah! Then he grabbed her ass up. Mm-hmm. And then, he pulled up, looked like he was about to eat her. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then she was able to stab his ass right in the eye with the dragon glass. But her kill shot was hard. Her shit was, ah!
Got him.
It wasn't like a little, yeah, her shit was like, yeah.
So she killed
the giant. A little bitty motherfucker killed the giant. You know what I'm saying? Right. Which, it's probably for the fans and shit. But, everybody wanted to see her get a good death if she had to die.
That. I saw something that being discussed. All right, well, that's cool.
So, again, it was a great episode. You know what I'm saying? It was good for the show. You know what I'm saying? People are divided on, the execution of it and, you know what I'm saying, the storyline. But, you know what I mean? I was satisfied for a good Sunday night date night with my wife.
Okay.
Thrones situation, a good social media.
Your wife still in on it? She still feeling it? Yeah. She was satisfied with the killings?
I mean, it was very tense and dramatic shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? From the jump, it's like your shit. Your heart is,
shit.
You know what I'm saying? It's like just following along.
Your heart beating for a certain character? Or
just the intensity of the battle. It's like it was no break. It was just like every fucking
the whole shit.
It was like, you got fighting, and then you got motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying, trying to get away. Then you got the dragons doing their thing. Right. And then you like, damn, don't let the dragons die. Uh-huh. Then, and then you got the Night King trying to get to the Three-Eyed Raven. Mm-hmm. And you thinking the Three-Eyed Raven about to do shit, but he ain't do shit. But damn. He went off into the Three-Eyed world and
stepped off. Three Eyes act like he ain't see a thing.
He ain't see, but obviously he saw something.
I know you saw that shit.
It's probably gonna be in the next few episodes. You'll understand why he did what he did, because he was like, "I'm gonna be leaving now.
I'm my business."
And then he just left, and everybody fighting to protect his ass. He just out there in another world.
What is he? A gremlin? What kind of thing?
He a human, but he in a wheelchair. Cause
okay.
You know what I'm saying? Jamie Lannister pushed him out the window because he saw Jamie fucking his sister, which you know what I'm saying. The realm frowned upon, which would let you know that that his sister's kids wasn't really the king's kids. It was what I'm saying. It was her nephews and nieces.
Third eye.
You know what I'm saying? So they was like, this little motherfucker got to go. Because he seen it. He the only one seen it with his own eyes. Everybody else was rumors. So they pushed him on out the window. That's how he got in the wheelchair and become his journey to the Three-Eyed Raven.
Oh, he got a third eye when he lost his legs.
When he lost his legs, he started having these dreams, and then it was a long journey of him getting from, his house, which had fallen, to the original Three-Eyed Raven.
Right.
who was gonna teach him how to do this shit. So he went and didn't learn enough. So now he's just trying to learn on the job at this point.
Okay.
So, but we don't know what the fuck he was doing. He just was out of here.
He said, "I'm getting the fuck on out of here. I'm in the chair.
I'm about to. No, he was just. He had something to do. We just don't know what the fuck he
had some shit going on.
He had some shit to do. He was like, I gotta go now.
Y'all take it easy.
And then his little birds went flying out. We don't know what the fuck he was doing, but
how many episodes left?
Out. It was 3. It was 6 episodes or 8.
You still so there's still some resolution you waiting on, or was
there's
this
still
enough?
A lot of shit because you still got who gonna get on the Iron Throne. Because Cersei is sitting on the Iron Throne now. That's the one who be fucking her brother. Who had
Cersei black, right?
No.
I don't know why.
Only 2 black people is the Cape Verdeans.
Shout out to Emperor Cersei on the radio in Atlanta.
DJ Emperor Cersei.
Absolutely. Shout out to that man.
Cersei is white.
Oh, all right. I didn't know that.
Yeah, she white.
Oh man, shit. Well,
so that was good, man. That was
sound good. I mean, I don't know what the fuck happened, but I like the fact that the people know. And
everybody know. I mean, and if you don't know, you know. If you don't know, it's like, some people who don't watch the shit is confused, like whatever. Because, at this point, there ain't no real need to catch up.
Right.
Because, you done seen the means to the end of the story and shit. That ain't the end, but, you'll probably just have to want to be involved with it now. But did you catch the Avengers?
I did not. You?
Yeah.
Oh, you did the whole thing?
Yeah, got that. It was the Stark weekend.
Did you buy, he's in the Avengers?
Well, nah, it's Tony Stark.
Oh, Stark.
And then it's the Stark family in Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay, I got you.
So on Thursday, everybody was like, all these memes talking about we need a prayer circle over all the Starks.
Hilarious. Yeah, I didn't see it. I didn't see it. I wasn't even, honestly, I wasn't even.
You ain't even into that world.
Not really, not to the point. I almost wanted to see it because, the hype. But, dude, if knowing that it's 3 hours long, I'm like, I'm good on it. I'll check it out at some point. But I just feel like I saw the last one. I saw Infinity War.
But this is the conclusion of that.
That's what I know, but I don't feel like I need a conclusion because I still don't realize I fell asleep 3 times in Infinity War.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm not a comic book Marvel. I'm not up on it. I don't know what kind of powers, and I ain't even know. I had to ask my son who the character was in some of the instances. But you know what I'm saying? I guess I enjoyed it for what it was, but I know I would have enjoyed it a lot more if I was a follower of the storylines.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So he was invested.
I could see how, people were really invested in
Was your son invested?
Yeah, he really invested.
How'd he feel as far as I've heard that this is better than all of them?
Yeah, he felt like this was it.
And this was the end. This was the resolution of the trilogy.
I don't know. I don't know what
they left it open-ended?
I don't know.
You were there.
I heard it's the end, but I don't know what the fuck.
No, I'm saying, but you saw the movie. Did they leave it open-ended or did it feel like it was
But see,
over?
all these movies, all these Marvel shits interconnect for different shits. You know what I'm saying? I think it's the end of the Avengers shit for the movies, I guess. I guess it's the end of all their contracts and shit.
Yeah, so they got to get the expendables.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so I don't really know how it's supposed to go.
Okay.
All I know is that, you know what I'm saying, this shit was a 3-hour movie.
Yeah.
And, they got back what they lost in the first one.
Yeah. My homie Darren, he posted on Instagram. It was just interesting to see. He posted a list of all of the MCU movie releases since 2008. It's been 22 joints. It's just crazy when you see it on paper, just to see like how prolific they've been and how many, these are event films.
Right.
How many of them motherfuckers that they knocked out? But then also the point of his post was one thing that I've been hearing a lot too is, they didn't go to the obvious directors, the action guys like a Michael Bay or whatever. They using people like, comedy directors.
Really?
James Gunn. Yeah, like James Gunn, I think did the Scooby-Doo movie. He did another movie called The Super, which was kind of like a superhero movie, but it was a little different. I forget the guy who did this Endgame, but he did like a comedy movie. So John Favreau did Swingers.
Ryan Coogler did Black Panther.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, he did Creed. He did, but I'm saying, no, but I mean, but these people don't come from it wasn't like they did a whole bunch of action. Ryan Coogler was one of the few.
Yeah, but you talking from a $20 million, $15 million movie to $100 million shit.
Of course, different budget. No, but I'm saying as far as sensibility goes, he might have been the only one that was close to the obvious sensibility in the way that he did a movie like Creed, where it was, fight scenes and all that type of shit, whereas everybody else is kind of coming away with like funny narrative movies, but then they killed it.
But they offered it to Ava DuVernay first.
Oh, okay.
Black Panther.
Okay.
Yeah, she turned it down, but
That's what's up.
you know what I'm saying? It seemed that they were
I think I heard that before, yeah.
they were going outside of the box
Yeah.
to get the directors to do
That was the
something.
point. That was what he was trying to put out there. He was saying, they took a chance on the people. Like he had a whole quote. It was I'm paraphrasing the Instagram post, but he had a quote that kind of spoke to the spirit of the decision making, and it was just, and it laid it all out like, boom, this, and then my man Mingle, who came through, he said back in the day, they were trying to shop that deal to many different studios, and people really just wanted Spider-Man. They didn't even want all the other shit.
Right.
And now you look at this shit 20 years later, or not even 20 years later, 11 years later, fucking 22 movies.
And
growing.
most highest grossing movies ever. Some of them, you know what I mean? I think this one is what? Is this the highest grossing movie?
I don't know.
First week?
Did it beat? Because I heard they said it wasn't going to beat Infinity War.
I think it beat Infinity War.
Beat it. All right, fair.
It was like $1 billion worldwide first weekend and shit. Some crazy shit like that. Yeah, so
I think it was like $1.25 billion actually.
Oh yeah. Count them up.
That's real shit.
Let's not count out that quarter.
Don't count the quarter bell.
That's
Put that on the table.
For sure.
Speaking of expectations, HBO. So I'm watching Barry. I'm still sticking with Barry. I fuck with Barry. You bet. I've been over here.
No doubt.
Barry supporter.
Like I said, my son is a Barry supporter. I've watched a few episodes of Barry.
This season?
I don't know what season.
Okay.
Last one like I said, he was in acting class, and one of his victims' dad showed up to the little party or something, or somebody was talking about somebody was affected. One of his victims' people was on the stage talking shit.
Yeah, I think that's season 1.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, season 1 is great. I like season 1. Season 2, it's killing me. Because some shit happened in season 1 ends on a crazy note.
Right.
Where I don't want to fuck it up for you, but he busts his gun, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's some shit, and there's some fallout from it. Well, he busts his gun, and in season 2, we trying to see if there's gonna be any consequence for that.
Right.
If he's gonna be held accountable for that, what's gonna happen? Because the thing is, with the whole thing about the show is him walking that tightrope between being a contract killer, you know what I mean, and trying to change his life to be an actor and kind of a little bit more fully realize, not killing people, something new. Mm-hmm. And but he got some bodies in his past that are, they're not all the way resolved.
Right.
So we tried to see how he's gonna get away with this shit. And each episode is like spectacular stalling. Like it's going way out the way.
Drag it out, man.
Oh man, they are dragging the fuck out of this shit. This shit is killing me. It's killing me because some of the shit starting to become, it's getting a little ridiculous. It's already comedy, but it's getting a little too ridiculous. The thing that I like was how they strike that balance where they'll give you some real shit and then temper it with some funny. It's been heavy on the funny, heavy on the cliffhangers, heavy on the plot twists. Like this last episode, Barry's been very reluctant to bust his gun. You know what I mean? Now, I don't know, I guess I'm bloodthirsty, but I need Barry to be Barry. I know you want to be, I know you want to get off book.
You like Tasha on Power.
Yeah, man.
I know you want to get out of the streets, but I fell in love with ghosts.
Look, man, I need you to get the job done. As long as you got some shit outstanding, when you could get that list down and it's over, once you killed everybody you need to kill, go ahead, go get a commercial audition, do what you need to do. Right. But right now, I can't have you pull up to the kill and be like, hey, listen, I'm supposed to kill you, but I'm not going to kill you.
Because I got to study some lines tonight.
Right, or just because I'm trying to be a better person.
He telling them this?
Just somewhat.
Right.
I mean, he's being real. He's like, yo, look, I'm supposed to kill you, but I'm not gonna kill you. What I want you to do is I need you to go to Chicago. They in LA. I need you to move. You got some family in Chicago. I need you to go to Chicago for like a year, so I don't have to kill you. Dude is like, all right, whatever. Barry got a little glass. He got this face mask on and some shades on, covering his face. And he's walking with the guy, like trying to get him to go ahead and start packing a suitcase. As he's moving through the house, they go in this one room and it's all types of trophies and medals around for like Taekwondo, for like U.S. Olympic level Taekwondo. This cat is a champion, right? And he's chill. He's chill. He's like, all right, fair enough. Like he's compliant. He don't really show no signs of aggression. Right. Well, sure enough, out of nowhere, he hit that nigga with a roundhouse. Boom! They get into a mean ass fight. They get in
scuffle.
And Barry getting his ass whipped a little bit. Barry do what he needs to do, but yeah, he's taking a big L for a fucking hitman. Right. You know what I mean? This shit, you could have done this. You could have saved yourself an ass whooping. Right. He bleeding all out of his ski mask. You know what I mean? Like it's looking crazy. He catch him one, boom, catch him, fuck the kid's windpipe up. Like just collapse his windpipe. The guy's wheezing this shit, like can't breathe, and finally he falls out. Wow. Now it's looking like he's dead and shit. So Barry's like, whew, fuck. And then I forget what happened. A little girl pops up. He's got a kid. Little girl pop up. She got like a kung fu gi on. She ain't playing no game. She's Arya Stark. Is it Arya Stark? Yeah. She on her Arya Stark. Other girl, she's Mormont. Dog. She's like a superhero / gargoyle. She's flipping off of shit. Coming at him. Stabbed him a couple times. This motherfucker about to bleed out. She runs. She's out of there. So now she's on the loose. So we got somebody that is sick. Barry's whole shit came off his mask. She's seeing him. She can ID him. Right. She's gone. He goes back because he got his man Fuchs, his kind of like his dispatch. His man Fuchs. He goes to the car. He's like, yo, Fuchs, we gotta go. You gotta take me to the hospital. I'm about to die. I'm bleeding out. You gotta take me to the hospital. Fuchs like, nah, don't worry about it. He's way too casual for the fact that Barry's literally bleeding out. He's like, yo, I'm about to run up in here. I'm gonna get you some stitches out of the Rite Aid. I'll be right back. Pull into the little emergency. So I'm gonna get some corn nuts. You want some? He's real casual. Barry like, my man, I'm bleeding out. I need you to hurry up. So he do a terrible job of stitching him up. Stitches pop out again. He tells him, yo, he got a daughter whose daughter's crazy. He's like, Barry, we got to kill the daughter. We got to kill everybody. So Barry's like, man, I'm not doing this shit. I'm not killing her. I'm definitely not killing the kid. The kid, she's like 13, 15, something like that. I'm not killing her. I'm not going to kill the kid. I feel terrible because I was like, first time I seen everybody get on this, I'm like, Barry, you got to bust your gun. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. But anyway, so he's like, I don't want to do it. So then the girl comes back and Fuchs tries to like appeal to her. You know what I mean? Hey, little girl, that type of shit. And she do some like run, jump in a tree, run through this, flips, winds up on the top of the fucking house, and is just sitting there like on some gargoyle shit.
Crouching tiger.
Crouches there for like 2.5 hours just sitting looking at these motherfuckers. They sitting in the car, Barry half dead, Fuchs scared to death. They're like, yo, what we gonna do, man? We gotta figure this shit out. What we gonna do? I forget how they get out of this situation.
But did they ever kill anybody?
So they get to the point, I forget how we got to the, somehow they wound up in the little girl sitting there. Barry's not gonna kill her. Fuchs is afraid. So I forget how we get to the spot to where they wound up at a grocery store. For whatever reason, they go to a grocery store. I think he's in the grocery store to get some more shit to fuck with his wound. He's in the grocery store. He had told Fuchs, he said, well, the Mark is dead. The father, he's dead. I seen him go out. He's dead. So they're in the grocery store. He's in like the pharmacy aisle. He looked a couple aisles over. he see homie with the windpipe standing up looking for some bandages to fix his whole shit. He's wheezing the shit. He live to the motherfucker. So the guy that wanted Barry to see, the whole thing is, this is the thing. Fuck it, we spoil shit over here. He killed this one police officer, this black woman, Janice, this black woman who was who happened to start dating his acting coach, Henry Winkler, right? They all went on like they went to Henry Winkler's like little beach house, not beach house, but like little farmhouse or whatever, like one of them little cabin type joints. It was Barry and his lady, what's her name, Sally. Barry and Sally, Janet, and I forget my man's name, Henry Winkler. So they out there, couples type, kick it. Barry had to kill her because
had to retreat.
Yeah, because she's a detective, and she's starting to put shit together. And like, she's not an idiot. Like, that's the thing about this show. Sometimes the tone is weird, but she was never an idiot. She could be funny at times, but she was never. She's not a dumb cop. She's a good police officer. So she's doing police work, and the shit she realizes through the police work, yo, you the one that did that. And then when she discovers that, he realized he got to kill her, and he winds up killing her. So that's how it ends. He kills her, right? Shout out to Chris Lambert. He wasn't feeling the black woman getting killed at the end of the shit.
I mean,
nobody was. It felt weird. You know what I mean? Especially now that
another HBO killing.
Especially now that we about 4 episodes in, and there still ain't been no justice for Janet. You know what I mean? Like, there's part of you that's like.
So Janet was the end of first season.
Janet was the end of first season.
So now we had no justice for Janet.
No justice for Janet. But Janet had, like, there was another cop that was like her partner that she was cool with. So he got an idea that Barry might have done it. So somehow, and I'm fucking it up a little bit, but somehow he apprehends Fuchs. Fuchs is Barry's dispatch, the guy that's always telling her who to kill. He got Fuchs like, yo, I need you to wear a wire. We got to get Barry. So, the first time he tries to, Barry don't say nothing. So Fuchs is kind of going back on, you know what I mean? He don't really want to do Barry like that. That's his guy.
He ain't no snitch.
Nah, he ain't really no snitch. And Barry comes through. He calls Fuchs. He's like, yo, man, I got to talk to you. Because, he's coming undone with all this shit going on. Sally's his lady. She's doing a scene about how her ex-boyfriend abused her. So, like, he's tight about that. Like, he's tight about a lot of shit. You know what I mean? Because he talked about, they all got to do scenes from, like, very, like, traumatic points in their lives. So Barry wants to do a scene about when he was in the Army, how, he saw his first dead body and how he responded. And initially, the story he tells makes him seem a lot more heroic than what really happens. And later on, you find out what really happens, which is way darker and it's fucked up. So anyway, so it's a lot of that type of thing where it's like, Barry, the central theme around a lot of these people is they're still kind of reluctant to accept who they really are, or at least what their behavior puts them to be, right? So anyway, so he's obviously in strong conflict because he's trying to change his life, but he's still, being called on to kill, called on to train killers, shit like that. So Janet's partner, I forget his name, he's got Fuchs on the wire. Barry comes through. Fuchs is like, yo, don't come through. I don't want to talk to you. Lose my number. He's trying to save him. Barry's like, what are you talking about? He winds up pulling up on Fuchs, and he's like spilling his guts. He says too much, and then the partner reveals himself. Police, you're under arrest, da-da-da-da-da. So you're like, oh, damn, Barry, you fucked up. So this is where the cliffhanger comes out. The partner's like, yo, I need you to kill my ex-wife's current husband.
So the police need a hit.
That's cliffhanger number 1.
Right.
So that's where we get to the cat with the taekwondo belts and fucked it. That was that guy.
That guy was messing with the dude's wife.
He was dating the dude's ex-wife. Oh. I don't even know exactly why he wanted to kill him, but he just wanted to kill him. I guess maybe jealousy or whatever. But
couldn't beat him.
Right. Couldn't beat him,
couldn't
obviously.
Whip his ass for sure.
Because check this out. So they're in the grocery store, and dude wheezing, you know what I mean? He's coming towards Barry, and then the officer who ordered the hit, he's like, freeze! You know, he's trying to stop the whole shit. Taekwondo hit him with a mean roundhouse.
Hit the police with it?
Yeah, dude, it looked like that nigga got hit by a truck. He killed him with the roundhouse. Hit his ass with a roundhouse, leveled him. He's dead. He's dead on the ground. Cops run in, kill homie. Bow, 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 bow. Barry somehow escapes out the back. They don't see him. Fuchs. This is why they went to the super. This is how ridiculous shit gets. The reason that they went there. Okay, here we go. Backpedaling. Barry, dog, my shit probably just as convoluted as your shit. It is what it is. Barry trying to get his stitches. You know, I told you he did a terrible job of stitching it up. So Fuchs says, fuck it. He goes and gets some like crazy glue and just squeezes that shit all into the wound. Right. He's like, yo, what's that? He's like, it's crazy glue. It's gonna keep you shit. He's like, what the fuck are you doing? So somehow he fucks around, got all his crazy glue on his hands. He winds up crazy gluing his hands to the steering wheel. He can't take his hands off the steering wheel, so they take him to go, I guess they're gonna go get some shit to get his hands off the shit. So his hands is on the steering wheel, cops pull it up. He can't leave the scene. Right. He's still in the car. Somehow he winds up in the back. Barry sees him, and cops is from this direction. Fuchs is right here in the car, like, Barry, get in the car. Barry, get in the car, hurry up. Cops is over there, and it cuts. So you don't know what Barry's gonna do. Is Barry gonna go with Fuchs? Right. But it's like, my man, how many times are we gonna
narrowly escape?
Yeah, man. It's still enjoyable, but they stalling me. They killing me. I see it. It's creative. Mm-hmm. It's creative distraction, but it's still distraction.
I mean, but that's what all this shit is. It's just entertainment, man. Yeah, man. Shit, if they gave it all to you in one swoop, you'd be done and there'd be nothing to watch.
Yeah, man.
You know? So they drag it out. They give you some of the shit you want. They, you know what I'm saying? They take away some of the shit you think you're supposed to have. And then, you know, at the end of the day, you talk about it on social media, everybody happy.
There you go.
Word out.
Speaking of which, why don't you tell the people where you're going to be? Let's get out of here, man.
Where am I going to be? I'm going to be here, man. I'm going to be here, you know, constructing this remix.
Okay.
I'll be on the gram at Mr. Muhammad, Twitter at Mr. Muhammad. Shout out to, you know what I'm saying, all the people that, you know, fuck with me on the social medias and shit. You know what I'm saying? And shit, until next week.
There you go. Where am I going to be? I'll be at Union Hall on the 7th. My man Nori Davis has a show out there. Nori and Nash Rose, they do a show out there. So I'm doing that on the 7th. On the 8th, I'm at Hotel Chantel. Stan is doing a pop-up show there. And then on May 17th and 18th, I'll be in Saratoga Springs at the Comedy Works out in Saratoga Springs. Tickets just went on sale, so you can get those. And next week, I'll be right here. And in the meantime, tell a friend to tell a friend.
And even an enemy.
To get in the conversation.
Yeah.
We are out.
And the main thing of it all is to be in the conversation.